Hey, Johnny, are you familiar with choke on karate?
No, Elvis, what is it?
Choke on these nuts, motherfucker.
All right, it is Monday. It's actually like almost the end of the day. I haven't been filming anything all day. These guys have been busting their ass installing and uninstalling the door. So we've taken the old burnt double door out with that 90s ass looking glass in it and put in my mission door. And this was quite the chore, and I couldn't get any door company in town to do it. Bunch of wimps. Julio over here, he's a door master. And they've been doing the tile and everything with Sergio. These guys are badass. I found a couple of good guys here. And he says, oh yeah, man, I used to work for a door company for years. I'm like, really? So within a few hours, they've gotten this thing knocked out. Wait till you see how awesome the store is. This thing is sick. Honorary we got going on. I've had these two bronze panthers for about a year and a half. Something, maybe not. And I did something really stupid. I cleaned them. I had bought this material, this I forgot what it was called. It's like a Tarnex kind of material. And it says you can just spray it right on your bronze and your brass and it'll clean it right up. And it did. But they look worse because I shouldn't have cleaned them. I should have they were black and patinaed. And my plan for these was to mount them up on top of the pillars. And I haven't decided if I'm going to put them on these pillars or the ones on by the street. Dos gatos. My two panthers. I was saying that I had cleaned them and I shouldn't have cleaned them. Now you notice there's like a left and a right. The tail goes in this way, tail goes in that way. I don't know how I want the tail out. I think you want the tail out, so they're probably reversed.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. What do you think? My plan was, and everybody's going to hate me for this, was to drill right through their little paws, right in the corner there. And maybe just the fronts, I don't know. That's a 5-inch Tapcon, which, now that I'm looking at it, is way too long.
Oh.
I mean, I thought it was going to be way bigger. And I have other Tapcons. I think I have some 3-inch ones.
No, good.
But these are 1/4 inch, so you drill a 1/4 inch hole in each one. And then, I don't know if we can even get to the back. I thought about, like, probably just those two is fine. But I don't want them ever being, they're not going anywhere, but I need to make it so nobody can just steal them, because they would. Now, we had talked about making a big plate for them to sit on, but that's a giant thing. It's hard to weld bronze to anything else, hardly. And so I was like, you know what, dude, it's not that big a deal. And you could always fill in the holes. You could always braze the holes. So I thought, just drill a hole right through the middle of their paws, and then maybe the back paws as well, but it almost looks like it was already done, doesn't it, when you look at them? And then just drill them right into the concrete. That was what I was thinking. Is it heavy, Omar? What do you think? How much does it weigh?
Less than you.
Huh? As much as you?
Nah.
Nah, they're like 100 pounds, maybe. Not even.
Nah, probably not even.
Yeah, they're not that heavy. Which is why I need to screw them down. It's been crucified. Oh yeah, this came out great. We still got to do the trim. We're gonna paint, the bricks are gonna get painted black, the wall's gonna be painted white. But that's the door. Solid as shit. Let's try it. All right, opens nice. Let's see how it closes. Nice. Perfect. Hello. That's how you answer like this. Hello. Just run that barrel out the door. Yeah, man. Let's see how the action of this is. Oh, silky smooth. Now I know you're saying, Bob, why didn't you do black hardware? I'm gonna tell you why. Because the sun beats down on this door all day long, and you burn the shit out of your hand if you grab that handle. I'm telling you. It's a thing here in Vegas, like when you live here, probably in Arizona as well. Like when you go to the store, they put these little gloves and wraps on the door handles like at a 7-Eleven or something, because you will burn your hand. Because the surface of this in the direct sun in the summertime will get 150, 200 degrees. I'm not joking. So I gotta program this, get the keys out and stuff. Man, it closes great. Look at that. Great job, man. So, yeah, we gotta fill in these gaps and then put in the, you know, side fillers. Yeah, dude, it's solid. No shaky. Man, really happy with that. That's really nice. This is gonna be, just trust my vision. We're gonna paint this nice crimson. The bricks are gonna be black. The walls will be white. We're gonna have different sconces here. Dude, it's gonna be great. That guy's got my cutting board all nice and clean. I had bought this from like Sam's or Costco many years ago, probably more than 10 years ago. A really sturdy made thing. What's great about it is it's a chopping board and you could just scoop into here. There's a little bowl. And you pull this bowl out and then throw your onion trimmings or whatever away. And so what we did was, I say we, Omar, I sanded this down, sanded a couple layers off of it till it was clean and white. And then we oiled it with butcher block oil. There's a special type of oil that you use, because you're putting your food on this. You can't paint it or clear it, because if you were chopping on it, you'd get it in there. And so this kind of wood, I guess it heals itself because you don't really see the marks. But we sanded it down, cleaned it super well. I've always had this in the kitchen. I had it at my old house. And everybody always loved it when they come over, because it's just so sturdily made. I mean, look at these 3-4 inch size legs. And man, you know, they just don't build this thing this good anymore. Anyway, so, man, the house is really coming together. It was dark by the time we got them up there. But yeah, man, they look cool. Hell yeah. Oh, I love it. Dos gatos. Yeah. I was thinking of putting a couple of solar lights, you know, if I can keep people from stealing them. Fucking pricks. Put, you know, a couple of lights shining on each one. Yeah, this thing came out really nice. To think they were going to throw this away. I'd never find another one of these. Never. Just little sanding on it, sanded it, painted it. Nice satin black. I think they painted it with the same stuff we use on all the baseboards, actually. And I use this for media paper. You know, I do a lot of printing and things. And so I just got like these delivered. Some glossy paper, right, for printing. So, you know, I'd keep all the different documents and medias. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 drawers, 13 drawers, I think. And I would keep my raw paper in there. It's just a nice, you know, I think I bought this from Hobby Lobby actually for a couple $100, about 10, 15 years ago. I've had it for a long time. So happy with that. It is awfully red in here. It's very red. So we'll do some little bit of decorating. I bought this yesterday. It's a Toomey backpack. And I already had a really nice Toomey backpack, but this one just blew me away. They monogrammed it BB. The one I used to use was this one here, which is this is a great little Toomey backpack. Nice color, nice burgundy red color, the 2 different colors, but I don't know, man, I just really liked this one. It's black and red. You know, I was trying to explain this to somebody. I said, when it's all red, sometimes it's too much, but when it's black with a little red accent, that's what I like. Because the interior, let's see if we can open this. I like when the interior is red. It's really nice. I like it. Also got a nice toiletry bag with it.
I had a great suitcase I was tempted to get, but oof, this stuff is expensive. So, like, honestly, these bags are like, this is a backpack. These are probably, I want to say this was $600, which is what I paid for that one. I'm going to sell this one on eBay, see what I can get for it. So if you're interested in my Toomey bag, let me know.
That is Tuesday. So they got up the trim around it. Oh, I like how they did this. That looks good. They did this. This is, like I said, still, we still got a threshold thing we're going to put here. I was considering I'm going to go down to the tile place and get some stuff. I was thinking about just buying a big piece of granite threshold material, like for a shower, and just putting it there. I'm going to get a measurement of that and see. That would be good. And then coming inside, I showed this already, but we've got this trim up. He says he's still going to put some quarter round, I guess, around these edges here. This is the same door trim that goes here, and I just thought it looked really good. We had to get creative with this clock, or the doorbell, I mean. Sorry, I said clock. And like, he just cut that piece of trim around the doorbell. And I said, look, these things are common, you can buy them. I would, we were gonna cut the doorbell. This is made out of ceramic, but it just encroached on it. But he creatively just cut that exactly and stuck it in there. And I was like, it's like a $3 piece of wood. Like, if we ever get rid of this, my point is, if we ever get rid of this doorbell for some reason and replace it with a different one that's a different size, we can replace this little block, which we actually have it. So I said, I'll just put it in a safe place. Maybe I'll put it on top of the doorbell, and future me or future owner or whatever, one day, this doorbell breaks, they take it down, they go, oh, look, here's the little block. And you just pry that one off and put the other one on and it'll match. Thinking ahead of the future. But this came out really well. I mean, this door is so solid. The house is just coming together. We've almost got all the construction materials out. They're going to start on the tub, but I'm just so pickled pink. I'm pickled tink. I love this. And look outside. It's so cool. So medieval. Well, today is not only Tuesday, it's a particular date. Today is October 21st, 2025, which, crazy enough, is 10 years past the date of 2015 that Doc Brown traveled from 1985, 40 years ago, went to the year 2015, into the future. That's right, Doc Brown traveled in his time machine into the future from 1985. He went to October 21st, 2015, into the future. We are 10 years past that now. Coming from October 26, 1985 at 01:21 a.m. when they conducted the first time trial event. Now you can change these dates to anything you want. Don't forget the red letter date in history, November 5th, 1955. Oh, it didn't change. Let me do that again. It's November 5th, 1955 at 0600. That should have done it. There we go. That's what I was looking for. You have to punch in a 1 or a 0 for AM or PM. That's how this works. And yeah, that's the time circuits. They really do work. And this is how our time machines work. I just sold 2 time machines. One that was on eBay. And the second bidder was also interested in a car. And we had another car ready to sell. And we sold that car as well. So both cars sold at the same time. We're working on a third car right now. We've done 50-something of these cars. I'll have to count them up. I don't keep exact track. But anyway, this is my car, the one I keep in Vegas. And we'll change that date back to October 21st, 2015, 06 p.m. There we go. Look at that. But I don't know if I'd want to go back to 2015. Which is worse, 2015 or 2025? Prices were better back then. okay, I would go back to this. I would go to 1985, 100%. If I had the ability to time travel, I would totally go back to 1985. No doubt about it. I mean, who agrees with me, right? 1985, no social media, no cell phones, best music, best movies. Food was still made out of food. Reagan was president. Great music. Man, you could call each other the F word. It was just great. Great times, man. But something happened in our timeline. I think I know what it is. It was Biff. Biff came along. He was here. He stole the time machine. And then he went and he changed history, and now it's all messed up. I need a Ghostbuster. I don't know. Now that the house is finally done, I'm going to get back here in the shop soon. I still got a lot to do in the house. But I can't wait to get in here and start. I want to really put my Night Rider back together. You know, the winter's coming. It's a great time to take the car out when it's nice and cool because, listen, a black car does way better in the cold than it does in the hot. And I've been working on this dash now for 2 years. It's just been sitting here for a year out of the way. There's my, somebody was asking me about that thing. There it is. That was in the room. I don't know if I'm going to put it back in the room or not. I know it looks good on the podcast, but anyway, I can't wait to get back out here. So if you don't know, if you're a new subscriber, I have another channel called Bob's Prop Shop Live Webcam. Just search for that. And when I'm working in here, I'll often turn on the router there and the camera. And you can just watch me in here working. And some people like to do that kind of thing. And if that's you, you can do that. I'm going to be working on the Night Rider. I got to do some upgrades to this time machine. I've got some lithium-ion batteries I want to put in there. I'm thinking about when we had built this car, we had put the batteries behind the bulkhead. I don't normally do that on customer cars because they don't know how to access that area. I always put them in the trunk. But I want to do some cooling upgrades to the car. I'm thinking of doing what Ferrari and Lamborghini and a lot of rear engine cars do, and that's what they should have done with this car. See, with a Lamborghini, Ferrari, and those kind of rear engine cars, what they usually do is put the radiators right here on each side, which is why they always have those air intakes. The Ferrari Testarossa has those side scoops that scoop the air into right here, and the Lamborghini has those scoops that sit up. Here, I'll show you. On the Countach, the way they did it on the Countach, as with most cars, there's the kit car there waiting. So on the Countach, what you have is 3 different air inlets. You have this big one up top, the Naka duct there on the door, and then this lower strake. And now this is a replica, of course. My finger's in the way. On a real Countach, you'd have a radiator that went all the way down the length of this behind this driver's seat. And you're taking air in from these 3 areas, and then there's a fan, and then it's exiting out here, okay? And that's how they did it on the Countach. They also had air condenser up front for the radiator, or for the air conditioning compressor is what I meant to say, right? So you had 3 different types of radiators on it. Now, on the Testarossas, they did a little bit different, which was quite efficient and quite well cooling. What they did was they did the same thing with their radiators, but what they did was they had this large air scoop that went into the side here. And then what they would do, this is a replica, of course. This entire top area would be open, and then this whole back taillight section would be open with this mesh. And what would happen is all the engine heat from that V12 would come pouring out the back of this thing. Just the heat coming out of there, sucked in from the sides and blown out the back. So believe it or not, they actually cooled fairly well, if well taken care of and tuned properly. When you have the fuel injection on these cars, they can run hot. With a carburetor, you can tune it a little. I know I'm going to start a bunch of bullshit with this. People are going to start arguing. But I've been told by people that carburate their cars that the carbureted cars can run a lot cooler because they can be tuned a little better. Because, you know, you can see here on the Countach, my finger keeps getting away, I'm sorry. On the Countach, you have several sets of vents. One set of vents cool the brakes. Well, another set of vents cool the or fresh air for the cabin, and another set of vents cool the air conditioning condenser. So there's actually 3 different air inlets here, which are functional on this car. Underneath that hood is a radiator or a air condenser for the radiator. Actually, on this car, it's a real radiator because this is a Fiero. And it actually runs fairly cool. So, my plan that I was considering on the DeLorean was underneath these vents are functional. They do vent hot air. And I was thinking about just making 2 small little radiators, like using them off a motorcycle or something. 2 little radiators and having them mounted flat here on top of the engine, mounted to these vents that the water runs through with little electric fans on them for additional cooling. Because here in Las Vegas, especially in the summertime, it gets to 120 degrees, and the temperature of the pavement will then be some ridiculous 180 degrees. I mean, just it will melt the shoes on your feet. So, because if you remember last year, I burned my feet. And I just can't seem to get this thing cool enough and get the air conditioning cool enough. So I was literally going to put in a separate battery backup system just to run the most powerful fans I can on the air condensers to get them as cooled as possible. Because the 150 amp or whatever it is alternator can only put out so much power. Now, another idea we had was just to electrify the car. I've been talking to a company that's interested. It's probably going to be as much as between $30,000 and $50,000 to EV the car. Remove the entire drivetrain, put in electric air conditioning, but I'd only have maybe 40 or 50 miles of range with that setup, which is fine because I only got to go 5 miles to the strip and 5 miles back. So if I had 25 miles of drivable range with extra power to run air conditioning, I'd probably be fine because I'm never going to take this thing very far. I just go to the strip and back, right? So it's something I was considering, but that's an awful lot of money. But it would solve a lot of problems for me because, like, for instance, I just did a convention where I had to go into this convention center and there was all this hoopla with the fire marshal about the amount of gas in the car and all this. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, it's a lot of money, but having a completely electrically powered DeLorean doesn't sound like a terrible idea to me. It'd probably be heavier though, but I'm fine with that. I just need it to not break down. I just need it to run and not overheat. And it's one of the biggest problems with the DeLorean when you live in one of the hottest places on Earth. Death Valley, which is 100 miles from here, is the hottest place on Earth. And I live in it. Not in Death Valley, but it gets effing hot. So, anyway. These are the problems that I have.
My last look at the door. It's done. All the trim's done. I went to the tile place, picked up this piece of granite, which is basically the threshold you would use for a long shower, walk-in shower. And it's black granite stone. And he cut it and fit it up under there with a gap thing, caulked it in. When all this is painted red and everything, it's so great. Really happy with the door. I'm actually considering doing some kind of, I could easily cut this out. I was considering having some red stained glass panels made. I don't know, let's see. But the operation of the door is just so smooth. And that's really the key element. I mean, this is a really heavy door. And put the lock in here, put the batteries. And that's, I mean, when this stuff moves like butter, it's just, you know, as they say. I mean, dude, it's just, I mean, that's a 200-300 pound door. That thing is heavy. But just super thrilled with how this came out. I just couldn't be happier. I've always wanted this particular door, and here it is. So I know you guys are all tired of hearing about it.
it's just been such a long journey to get to this point. A year. I mean, we've been working hardcore on the house since like April, I think. Really. April, we started with the electrical, plumbing. I mean, it seemed like not very long ago that this was just all framing. We were running all the electrical through there, the plumbing. There's massive pipes that run right through there. This was all just open. This was concrete. You know, if you remember the videos just a few months ago, this was just framing and concrete. You could look up and see the top of the roof. And now it's a house. Like, remember, it seems like just weeks ago, and this bathroom was being used for the construction, like, break room. They had their gosh darn refrigerator right here where the shower used to be, with all their junk piled up and their scaffold. I mean, and now look at it. It's this beautiful bathroom. It's just been like a tremendous amount of work and money, crazy amount of money. I've lost count of the money. But I don't know, fortune just seems to kind of come to me. You know, I've always had this little angel on my shoulder, and whenever things started to get kind of rough and started to get broke, just money comes to me. I just put myself in the hands of the universe, you know. I just put myself there and hope for the best, and then it just comes. What I've learned in this life is that sometimes tragedy will strike, you know. But sometimes a door closes because another door opens. You know, like when I got divorced the first time, you know, it's like that's a traumatic experience when I was with my ex-wife for 10 years. I gave up, you know, the home that I knew. We had a rent house. We had 3 dogs. I had a Rottweiler named Mojo. I had a Scottish Terrier named Toto. Well, actually, he had died before that. I had a little Schnauzer named Fritz, little white Schnauzer. He was my little buddy. We had 2 horses, Comet and Kokomo. Had a little ranch in Fort Worth. Had my garage and my cars. I had a life. And then all of a sudden it was just gone. It was just gone. Not unlike this fire. And that breaks a lot of people. There's a lot of people living under these bridges that things like that happened to them and they just didn't recover. But then I met Rachel. I mean, I actually knew her before that, but I met her in a different way. And we've been together now since 2009. And my point is that, you know, sometimes there's a tragedy that happens. And that tragedy really isn't always a tragedy. Sometimes it's just something being pushed away so that something else can come in. Does that make any sense? Because now I have this wonderful wife I've been with for so many years. And I can give a lot of other examples of this. But the tragedy that happened here a year ago, for whatever reason, maybe it was a lesson, maybe it was a message, maybe it was just a fire. But the end result is I have not only my house back, but it's way cooler than ever. I have a whole new appreciation for this place, this property, this life. My wife, my little kitty cat, my friends. So, just like this other idiot was like, oh, you burned down your own house for the insurance money. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, rebuild my house for a year. Just because things work out doesn't mean that that's how it was intended. They just do. And man, I was just really broke as shit and starting to worry. And then I sold 2 time machines at the same time. On the same day. I hadn't sold a car in forever. I hadn't sold a car since what, January, February this year? And then all of a sudden I sold both cars. And you guys know what I sell the cars for. what a payday. Paid off all my credit cards today because I'd been funding all this with my revolving credit and borrowing money and things. And I am debt-free again, paid off everything, cash positive, back in my house. Oh, I'm so happy I could cry. I'm just so thrilled. I feel like I've won the lottery. So that's why I'm going on and on about it. And more prosperity. I've rented the DeLorean for a huge event, which is paying me very well. You know, as you know, I rent the DeLorean time machine out for events. You can go to LasVegasDeLorean.com if you would like to rent the car. And the beginning of November, I'll be going to the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp to spend a week with my hero, Rob Halford from Judas Priest, and also Alice Cooper will be there, not for nothing. And I just feel good to be alive. It's only Tuesday. Anything could happen. It's the end of day Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I got band rehearsal tonight. It's coming up soon. I just remembered that. Got to sing Judas Priest. We're playing at the Dive Bar here in Las Vegas, November 29th after Thanksgiving. So if you're in town, come check it out. Not a whole lot done today. Well, I mean, a lot done today, but not like a lot to show you. They got the, actually, you know, they got the plumbing in. So we had, I actually have 2 sets of plumbing run, which is unusual. I have 3/4 pipe run to just the filler. And then I have the original shower connections. We just added 2 more pipes run directly from the main line over there. They got the backer board in. And tomorrow they're going to come put the sealer on. It's this pink smelly stuff. I'm going to do the sealer to keep the water out. And then that has to dry all day. And then they're going to start the thin set and then putting on the tiles. So that's happening in the bathroom. I'm really looking forward to getting that done. Small victories done. I got these knobs put on. And I wasn't sure where to put these because I was going to put them here in the corner, but it's like it's beveled here. I was like, that's not a flat surface. And then this isn't really, you know, I just decided to put them here like that, which, I don't know, probably looks stupid. I couldn't figure it because it just, this is beveled and I didn't want to put a knob there. So see how I put them in the centers? Tell me if it looks stupid. It's too late now. There's nothing I can do about it now. This is cool. This little thing here opens up. Keep some soap in there, but anyway, ta-da, knobs. Got these on Amazon. They didn't cost much of nothing, but it was easy to do. Single knobs. I didn't want to do the big pull handles because you got to measure them out and get them all. It's way easier to do these. These go in so easy, you know. And we'll probably address this drawer, how it sticks out later. But you know what? I'm kind of in the I don't give a shit anymore kind of mode. We've been working on this house for like a year. The drawer sticks out 1/4 of an inch in my spare bathroom. Who gives a shit? All right, did wash the sheets and all the linens after Chris was stayed in here for a week or so. Hung up this painting that used to be up in here. Got this. This is a cool. I don't know if I think I talked about this a little bit, but you know, Rick showed us this. This is it's a poster actually, a thick type of poster because it's got like these brush strokes on it, you know, you can see, and with a sheen to make it look more like a painting. But these were sold as actual merchandise at Elvis's shows, and it's quite a rare piece. It's worth some money. Of course, Elvis's dresser. Smells good in here. I like it.
Sorry I'm late. I just had to take a massive shit.
And in the kiss room, same thing. Did the linens. These are a little bit different than what was in here before. Love this little thing. I've had this for a long time. It's a little... This should have been red, though. Why is it blue and pink? Like, they could have made this red, maybe. Maybe they don't have plasma in red. My little lights. Love those. I love these. These are my favorite lamps. told you the story before. I bought that at a Cracker Barrel in their Halloween section. I just thought it was, I mean, Cracker Barrel, this mostly Christian conservative type of store, had this great skull lamps. Look at this. Look how badass those are. This, I think I showed you this posters from the last night of the Kiss show. I'm repeating myself. You've seen all this stuff before, but here it is again. Other minor little details like this black corner piece here. Always walk past this corner and whack it with your shoulder or whatever, and it gets chipped. And I think that it's good to do that to these. Got this trim here on around this little closet that we keep the Dyson in. And put that little shelf up in there just to hold some of the accessories, and then this IKEA battery-powered little light. And that turned out really well. I like it. A little bit more trim work that was done on the door, I think. Sergio did for us. I forget what else. Oh, I got this delivered today. I bought it from this company. Starts with a V. It's a giant sheet of glass. And I was pretty worried about this because I thought, like, man, like, it's tempered glass, man, on carpet, but it's made, it's as they say, it won't break. And because this little thing I got from IKEA, this thing sucks. These chair mat things suck. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I threw the box over here. Here's the, I'll give them a free plug. What the hell? Vitraza. This is the booklet that came with it. Probably a book. Thank you for buying our glass thing. Please don't break it. So the deal is this thing came in a huge box by FedEx. It was like $600 or $700. It was expensive. But, you know, I've struggled with the chair mat thing for years. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a decent one this time. Also got a little footrest down there. That was like $200, leather footrest. So, and then they had a discount code. It's a mess in here already. Isn't it a mess? So, anyway, chair mat. I thought about, like, when I redid the room, I probably should have just cut off a section and, like, put wood floor tiling, you know, just for the one section, you know, but I was like, So chair mat, solid glass, like 1/4 inch glass. Oof, how about that? I've been printing pictures, getting them ready to hang up. Look at this gorgeous chick. Oh my God. Look at this super hot chick here. Hold on, the light's too much. That's my wife, Rachel. Look at how cute she is. Isn't she adorable? Am I not the luckiest guy? There we are here with the Ecto. Picture of me and David Hasselhoff. There's me and Christopher Lloyd. Today is Christopher Lloyd's birthday. I think he's 87. This is when he was putting plutonium in my car one time. This is me and one of my bands in Dallas, the Videobob of the Radio Stars. I miss these guys so much. Here's Rachel again. Isn't she cute? Oh, this is a sad picture. This is the very last picture I ever took with my buddy Vinnie Paul before he died. This was at his birthday party at the Gas Monkey in Dallas, and this was the last photo we took together. The very last one. This is my buddy Joey. You've seen on my Bobby's Vegas and on the channel. Chef Joey. We're at the, looks like we're at the Golden Tiki. Oh, this is when I did a music video with Billy Gibbons and Morris Day from The Time. We were shooting a music video. That was fun. Oh, this is something we were doing with Gene. There's me and Eric, Jerry McCambridge, Bruce Kulick. There's Kevin Pike, the original builder of the DeLorean Time Machine. There in my garage. He's a really good friend. Love you, Kevin. This was a friend of mine's birthday party, Joe Fami, on Chrissy's party. Got me, and we got Sebastian Bach there, Joe Fami, and a bunch of my local rockstar friends. Oh, this was West Coast Customs. I stopped in to visit with them. Fellow car builders, I think you've seen them before. Oh, this was at the very last Kiss show. This is Eric backstage. There's Jared McCambridge doing a cameo back there. Picture of me doing my Rob Halford bit. I love this picture. I look good there. Oh, there's my honey bunny. We were at Niagara Falls. Isn't she cute? Look at her.
There's me and Uncle Gene. He's pinching my cheek like a grandpa. This is Glenn Tipton from Judas Priest, guitar player. There's Rob Halford, who I'll be seeing soon. Love you, Rob, my buddy. It's my friend Jared and his super hot chick, Jessica. We were at the Golden Tiki. I love to go to Golden Tiki. This is, hold on, not 3 times. You know who this is? Tony Orlando. Legend in Vegas. There he is. Oh, here's Boy George. I love Culture Club so much. Me and him got along swimmingly. He's a great guy. I remember he asked me, he goes, "Are you a celeb?" I go, "What am I?" I go, "Not really." He goes, "You must be someone because you look important." Oh, there's Tommy. Tommy, that guitar he gave me is all burnt up. Oh, look at who it is. Silvio. It's little Steven. This was backstage at the Last Kiss show, and he was a Kiss fan. He was there. That was in Madison Square Garden. Look at that. There's Gene again. This was also at the Last Kiss show. First thing Gene did when he got off stage was get a hot dog. Because we were in New York. Let's see. Here's some more pictures. We'll keep it going. This looks fun, right? Let's see. Here's me and Ernie Hudson, my bro, wearing a Bob's Prop Shop shirt. We were doing a charity event together. There's Dan Aykroyd, Blues Brothers, signing my Blues Brother album. Oh, this is after we did Ghostbusters. There she is from Saturday Night Live. Mr. There's Ernie. I've done a lot of things with Ernie. I love this guy. What a cool cat. There's Dee Snider. Love his music. Big fan. Not a fan of his politics lately. So, move on. John 5, guitar player. This was after a Hell Yeah tour. So this was when it's dated 2008. There's all of us after a Hell Yeah show. This was a music video I was shooting for the band Hatebreed back in 2008. That was fun. Mr. T, my man, one of my heroes. Be good to your mama, fool! Love me some Mr. T. There's Ghost. Love the band Ghost. This was back when they were first starting. And that's the original Papa there. Oh, there's me and Dime at his kitchen. In his kitchen. This was probably 2001, I want to say. Probably 2002. That was a long time ago. Oh, we did a tour with Korn. There's old Jonathan. Used to see him all the time. Nice guy. There's another Dee Snider autograph that he gave me. Thank you. This is a signed thing I got from Rob Halford, and I think Richie Faulkner signed that. There's Dan Aykroyd sitting in my time machine. A Ghostbuster, a Blues Brother in a time machine. How about it? There's my mom, guys. That's my mom. That's my mom. There's me fighting the fire. You've seen that picture before. I thought I should have a tribute to the house. There's me and the president. There he is. There's me. I like this picture because he's looking at me and he's like, you know, oh, really? I said, "Hi, I'm Videobob." He goes, "Oh, really? What?" I just remember him being impressed by that, I thought. Oh, there's Hoovy. There he is. That's at Hoovy's Garage. Oh, there's a couple of my good friends. You know, the German in Venice and Adam the Woo. Out cruising Vegas, having 3 YouTubers in a Maserati, having a good time. Oh, this was another good time. This was Eric and Jerry went and saw Michael Anthony. That guy there is Kerry Kelly from Night Ranger. He owns a bar here called Aces and Ales. There's my buddy Joe Fahmy. His birthday's coming up. There I am with the time machine at Universal Studios Hollywood that we built for them. Go see it. There I am with, I showed this before. Me and, I just think I look cool in this picture. I kind of look badass. I don't look so fat. And then there's me and Terry Fader. A little Vegas entertainer. There I am with the president again. This is a bit, I printed this one larger. I mean, I've got tons of these. Look at these. Let's see. I'll show you some more. This was a great one. Let me turn the light over this way. Let's see. This is it's an old picture. We went gambling. It's me and Vinny and Jerry Cantrell, Scott Ian. There's Winger. This is signed by Dan Aykroyd. Videobob. Sign that for me. Here's Lemmy from Motorhead. Remember this guy from the Chopper Show? He's cool. There's Al from Ministry. Moments after pulling his weenie out. Drummer of Motley Crue. Tesla, great band, great. This was our wedding night. This is me and Rachel, and that's Chad Kroger from Nickelback. He was at our wedding. He actually played drums at our wedding. I know some cool people. I don't know if you like Nickelback. I do. Look how cute she is. She's so thrilled. She's married to the hottest guy on YouTube. Look at that. Bam Margera and his friends. This is a sad picture because this is the very last picture that was ever taken of Don and my friend Jeff Mayhem. This was at a Bennigan's. Look at the light. The night before they were both killed. So this was taken December 7th, 2004. Came right off of Vinny's camera. This is me and Vinny at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when we were on tour. Here I am with Judas Priest. And see this necklace he's holding? The necklaces that they wear, the razor blade there, we made those at our shop. My buddy Omar actually helped make those, and then I polished them. But the ones that Judas Priest actually wears, we made those. I gave them to them as gifts. This is another picture of me and Vinny, and our buddy Wayne, unfortunately died from Static X. He was on tour with us at the time. This is my favorite Kiss picture of me. This is me with the guys on the last tour. Great picture. I love it. Anyway, these are the things that I'm getting done. Getting hung on the walls. Thursday afternoon. Pods, people are coming to get these pods out of here, finally, after a year. I'm sitting here in the parking lot. It's about time. So, finally. Thank you so much, Pods. Check this rig out. This is pretty cool. The way they move these around. This truck is specifically designed to move the box. So the entire lifting mechanism and carriage mechanism, it's kind of like what they do at the port docks, shipping containers. So this company, I assume it's probably franchised, I don't know. He just drives the mechanism, which is remotely controlled. You know, I don't even see wires on it. I don't even think it's connected to the truck. It isn't. It's a completely hydraulic controlled, remote control thing. I just realized it doesn't even have an umbilical cord that goes to the truck. So really, you can use this on any flatbed like that, I guess. This thing just drives over to the box. You know, I think this could be used for car towing as well. I think they do it this way in Europe. Look at that, he steers the wheels. That's so cool. And then it just shrinks around the thing. That's sick. Dude, this would make a great car lift. You just drive it over to your car and lift it up. That's badass. Wow, check out the remote actuating the knob. Look at this. That's really cool. Wow. I don't know why I'm so impressed with this. But I'd imagine that thing can lift quite a bit of weight. That's really neat. Man, this is just turning out to be a great month. Very prosperous month. So we had listed a DeLorean time machine up for sale on eBay. It was up for 10 days, no reserve auction, started at $1. And I just had faith in my work. We normally charge $150,000 for our turnkey replica cars. That will get you the DeLorean time machine as the Mr. Fusion version without the fog machine or any other options. The fog machine option is $5,000. And on the rare occasions we have the parts to do the plutonium chamber version, that's an additional $5,000. Then we have custom stereo options, rear backup cameras, things like that. And what we usually do on these cars is we generally completely refurbish the interior, refurbish the wheels, new tires, give the car a basic tune-up, and just make sure it's running so that you can move it around. And what I mean by that is like pretty much every DeLorean is a runner driver if you just know the basics. You go through, you replace the fuel lines, some of the hoses, the vacuum lines, give it a tune-up, plugs, wires, oil changes, things like that. So, and the car will run. You can always get a DeLorean to run usually. At least we can. We've done over 50 of them. And I don't buy cars that are just like dead. I did buy a car that was dead, and we're really paying for it because we're building a car that's a full frame-off restoration, so I had to get a whole new frame and engine and everything. And that's going to be the last car that we build there at the shop, and it's going to be a $200,000 vehicle because it's going to be a super fine example. It's just one of those cars you can eat off of it. It's going to be perfect, right? So anyway, I put the car up for sale, and there was a guy that was interested in the car. He flew from where he lived up northeast to see the car in person. Then the next day, the car ended the auction, and he lost by $100. He bid $145,000 on the car, and somebody outbid him by $100. And he was disappointed. But the thing is, we actually had 2 time machines at the shop. We had the one that was on eBay, and we had another one that was finished. But I had a buyer out of Mexico that had come up from Monterey to see the car, but he was having trouble, I guess maybe because of the tariffs or whatever. He was like, I don't have a way to pay you the cash. I want to pay you with Bitcoin or something, and all these other shenanigans that went on for weeks. And I told the guy, I said, well, that car's not available right now. It's pending a sale, but you can bid on the one that's for sale. And he lost the bid. So I said, you know what? So the guy that won the car on eBay is a guy in Miami who just paid for it just now, like literally minutes ago. While I was recording the pod picking up the box, I got the text message that the funding had come through for that. And so I said to the guy, I go, would you rather have that other car? The one you saw, the one that the guy from Mexico was going to buy. And he goes, I'd love it. And I said, well, if you're willing to pay my regular fee of $150,000, you can have that car. And he said, you know what? I'll take it. And he wired me the money. So that's 2 cars sold basically the same day. And you can do the math. Not only that, but I have this car rented, my personal time machine, the one that I have here in Las Vegas. I have this one rented for a special event next week for a whole week. And I'm very forthcoming with the rates. The car is $350 per hour with a $2,500 per day cap. So they've taken the car for 4 days. That's $10,000. And that's what it costs to have the car. Just for display purposes. That's it. And this has become a business for many people. Many of the people who bought my more than 50 cars have started their own time machine rental businesses. And so we work with a booking company. We have DeLoreanRental.com that rents out the cars. And we have a network of our cars worldwide. And other cars too. People that are, other cars not built by us. But, a good majority of them are. So they're in private collections, museums, and theme parks, and rental companies all over the world, because this right now is the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. And Back to the Future will be back in theaters this month. You'll be able to see it just like I saw it in 1985 when I was 10, and you'll be able to go see it if you didn't get the opportunity to do that. So I recommend going and seeing it in the theater the way it was designed with an audience. And I hope that one day you get to see one of my time machines, either the one that's on display in Orlando, Florida, or the one on the back lot in Hollywood at Universal Studios, or, many of the museums that have them around the world. I need to update Bob's Prop Shop and have a listing of all the different museums and places where you can see our cars in person. I haven't done that, and that's a great idea. I just thought of that just now. I should do that. But anyway, a great prosperous month. I've moved back into my house this month. Sold over $300,000 worth of DeLoreans and rentals. What more could a fella ask for? I am just so blessed. I just am feeling so overwhelmingly relieved. I was just so stressed out, and I handle stress pretty well. I'm not somebody who drinks. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I don't overeat. I don't sit around and eat ice cream, when I feel sad. I've learned to manage grief and anger and things like that pretty well. I know I complain and bitch sometimes, but to me it's really more, I guess you could call it venting, but it's more comedy to me, I think. It's like entertainment. I'm not somebody who's like suicidal. I'm not somebody who's got a bunch of rage, you know. At least, especially in my older years. I go back and I watch videos and things that I did 10, 15, 20 years ago, and I'm like, oh man, I'm so cringy. I was in such competition with the world. I'm just not anymore. I just don't care what people say. I just don't care what people think. I just don't care. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say I don't care. What I should say is it doesn't affect me. You know, when I get in an argument with somebody and they criticize me or whatever, I'm just like, what difference does it make? I'm still going to be here. You know, it's like things are still going to be great. You know, I'm just, things are great. I don't know what else to say. My house is paid off. My house is restored. I'm back in my home. I'm completely debt-free. I'm cash positive. And that's just a feeling when you have a situation where you're put in that kind of a secure situation where you just don't have anything to worry about, you know? And turn this off. There we go. I don't know, that's pretty cool. Having my flux. I should just do my videos in here. I haven't done that many videos in the car. I've been doing the time machine thing now for like 20 years. Since 2004. You guys have seen so many of these videos, and I owe such a real debt of gratitude to the people who made this movie possible, and the fans, and you know, the fans of Back to the Future, I mean, that love the movie and want to buy one of these cars because they want to celebrate the film that Bob Gale wrote and produced. And I remember Bob Gale yelling at me once. Or he didn't yell at me, he just kind of snapped at me because we were doing some stuff. And he goes, "It's not about you, Bob." And I remember it was quite impactful because I thought about it and I go, yeah, he's right. Like, I have nothing to do with this movie. I have nothing to do with this franchise other than, like, I just loved it and recreated this car. And people kept coming to me because I was there, you know. Pawn Stars and Auction Kings, ABC Nightline News. So imagine you're Bob Gale, you wrote the movie Back to the Future, and every time they talk about your movie, some bold asshole is running around with his car acting like some kind of big shot like he did. I did nothing. Took a DeLorean and put a bunch of shit in it. It's like, it's not that big a deal, you know? To some people it's a big deal because it was a lot of work, but the point is that, like, copying something versus creating something, I've came to that rationalization and you know, I'm like, so much of my life has been the gratification of plagiarism, making proton packs, Ecto Ones, Knight Riders, Ghostbusters, the A-Team, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, all of these different things, like on my TV show, and it's like, it was a TV show about a guy just copying other people's shit. And then the ironic thing, the most ironic thing of that is how I would get into these arguments with other people about the exact same thing that I'm doing, that they're doing. They're like, "Hey, you're trying to steal the thing I'm trying to steal, but you're doing it better." I mean, at least I'm being honest. There's so many people that are in this space that want you to believe that, like, they did something, like they created something, that they, you know, and I'm like, what are you so excited about? You didn't invent shit. You copied something that somebody 20 years, 30 years older than you did already when you were a little kid. You know, you got all these guys that are 40, 50-year-old Ghostbusters making Ghostbuster props, and they're acting like they did something. I'm like, when you were a toddler shitting your pants real artists and engineers and creative people made this movie and these props. And you were, you know, a baby. So when I was 10 years old, I went and saw this movie and I go, wow, that's cool. And it would be, you know, 15 years later as an adult that I would start the process of trying to copy it. And whereas I've made great relationships with the peoples and who made these movies and these props and all these things, at the end of the day, I feel the one dissatisfaction that I feel, not as a failure or anything, it's just that, like, I long for being able to have been the creator of something like this. You know, I don't have anything like this that I own that's mine. I'm in a Judas Priest tribute band singing someone else's music. I make someone else's cars. You know, when I did the announcer for Kiss, I was like the 10th guy to do it or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like I have yet to really, truly find success in something that I did completely on my own. That was my own art, my own creation, and my own success. And I think that that is the empty hole that I couldn't fill the void of. And I think that that's true of so many of the other people, because what I've found is people that are haters and trolls, in real life, they have that emptiness as well. They didn't get the pat on the head from their dad telling them that they're a good boy. And because of that, you try to fill that gap in your soul. And sometimes it works out to be in the form of success. But this is why there's so many people out there that they might have a lot of money. They might have nice cars or beautiful wives or whatever the situation is, but they're still not fulfilled. Because there's nothing as fulfilling as creating something from scratch and owning it. You know. So I have to admit, that's something I still haven't done in my life. And it gives me something to kind of work for. So, I don't know, just a peek into my thought process of how I live and work and breathe and what makes me get up in the morning, you know. But I'm also, Mama didn't raise no fool, I ain't stupid. I keep building these cars and I keep doing this stuff because it pays the bills. You know, I'm a 9th grade dropout whose main work experience was working at Jack in the Box when I was 16. I've been doing these things with my hands for so long. And I realized that this was a moneymaker for me. It was just something that I could do easily. And I've often thought about, like, okay, how could I take the skills I have? I'm 51 years old. I still have another 10 or 15 years worth of good work time in me. Who knows, maybe longer. And so what's next for Videobob? What's next for Videobob?
All right, guys, just left. They finished doing all the sealer. Let me see if I can get back here without busting my ass. So yeah, they got this section of tile done. And they're gonna come back tomorrow. We're gonna do this gold bars. Let's see. Let's stick down here. So these right here, I'm gonna take half that section there, and then that's gonna run like along the top, and then these coins are gonna go in there. It's gonna look nice. I trust that it'll be nice.
Yeah, very soon we'll be all finished with the construction in the house. And then we'll just be down to decorations. You know, doing, hanging up pictures and guitars and things. What do you think about that, Puka Bear?
What do you think about it? Do you like that house? Are you glad to be back home? You are? You like it? Do you like it? You do? You feel good to be back home? Yes, you do. Are you gonna roly-poly? You gonna roll around? Huh? Yes. There he is. That's how you know he's happy. Where? Oh, what do you... What's the camera for? Cleaning. I don't know if I wash these, but this is still my life, cleaning things. I have clothes, jackets, and files, and a nice pair of shoes. So we got to get all this cleaned out so Rachel can put her car back in here. And oh, there's my lamp. Need to clean that. I mean, I just have stuff everywhere. This is my mother's ashes. You know, I gotta take, it's all melted. No jokes. I know. It's ashes. But, we're slowly going through all this stuff. And it's just all these totes. I mean, this is just a small taste of the totes. There's booze. All the stuff in the laundry room. We're going through clothes. Like, I guess this has all been washed. I think so, yeah. So, we're washing clothes. So that brings me to the next thing. Check out this DeLorean blanket. How cool is that? Just washed that. So let's talk about this washer machine. Never mind the girl in the corner. This thing has been pissing me off. It's an all-in-one combo, and I thought it was the greatest thing ever when I first bought it. But it has a lot of problems. It's the LG Wash Combo all-in-one washer. And the issues that I've had with it, I've only run about 20 loads through it according to the cycle thing since we've had it. We've had it more than a year, but for the last year we haven't been living here, so we haven't been using it. And the issue is that it builds up, the lint trap is up here. And it just doesn't capture very much lint. It seems like all the lint seems to build up inside this barrel. And then the other problem is it doesn't want to dry. And let me see if I can go into the options, turn the drum light on. And I don't know if you'll be able to see in there. But it just doesn't use any water. And some people would think this is a good thing, but it's not a good thing. Right? Let me see if I turn off the light over here. Maybe you can see inside better. All right, so here's the deal. There's no water in there. You don't see any water sloshing around. It doesn't. So what it does is it puts a small amount, like a gallon of water in there, and then it uses a pump to just spray the clothes and then slosh them around, and they're damp and wet, but there's not actual water in there. It's just spraying water on it. You understand? And so it takes a really long time. It takes 4 or 5 hours to run a cycle on this thing. And, it doesn't have a heating element. It uses a heat pump, so it's got a little small air conditioner. It runs in reverse. And the problem is it just builds up a lot of condensation. Now, I live in Las Vegas where it's only 5 to 10% humidity, maybe 25% humidity in a house. But you'll not, look, there's no water in it. There's none. There's no water sloshing around in there. The clothes are wet, like it came out of the rain, but there's no water in it. And you're like, Bob, you live in the desert. Look, we only use 5% of the water that comes out of Lake Mead. Everything else is recycled. 95% of our water is recycled. I have a well. I have all the water I want. And I want a washing machine that has water in it, And so, let me turn the light back on. So I went out washing machine shopping today, and I went and looked at the Speed Queens and things. But here's the issue that we have. Here's the dilemma, and one of the reasons I bought this in particular. This is a ventless dryer. Means it doesn't vent. The dryer we used to have that was sitting here used to vent just into the garage. It used to just blow into here, into just nothingness, right? And so the deal is that that's one issue. The other thing is when they built this place, they only had top loads. So they had the dryer over here and the washer over here. But ever since they started making front loads, the washer goes on the left and the doors open this way, right? This door opens this way. Every washing machine swings to the left. So when I had my other washer dryer in here, the doors were backwards, so you had to go around. It was a pain in the ass. So I got rid of that, and I bought this thinking this would solve all my problems. I don't have to worry about the door, and it's ventless. And it does use very little power and very little water. That's all great and all. But the thing about it is, it just doesn't work. Now here's the other thing. In the manual, it tells you that you're supposed to, like I would upset this thing if I took this off here. It's gonna piss it off, right? See? So what I did, in the manual it tells you to take these screws out and clean this. Now what I did was I put this dryer sheet here. I'm gonna test this and see if it helps capture the lint. Let me put it back in because it's gonna lose its mind. All right, there we go. So, I had to sneeze, okay. The other thing is in the manual it tells you every once in a while that you have to pull this. I don't know if I can do this with one hand or not. Let me see if I can. Okay. See how it kisses this water? This is supposed to be, look at the black shit coming out of there. This is supposed to be every once in a while. You're supposed to do this, right? But I have to do it constantly. And that's probably letting out all my wash water, actually. Look, you know what? Actually, all that black that's coming out of here is from the, that's soot coming out of there. I stopped it because I realized that, you know, these were so dirty that I'm just going to go ahead and initiate a quick rinse and spin instead of letting them wash in the filth. Because you got to understand, when the black stuff, the soot, when we were cleaning a lot of this stuff, like, you got to wash it 2 or 3 times. And what I found is that you need to just give it a rinse first and just get the crud out, right? Because like this little bit of water I just drained out of there, like, let me show you what I'm talking about. Look how black this is going to be. Oh my God, see that? Wow. So here's the deal. That's the black water. If I pull this thing off again, I want to show you. Hold on. So I went down the rabbit hole of washer machines. I research everything to death. And the thing is, these washer dryer combos that are ventless that use the heat pump technology are fairly new. Now I have a washer dryer combo that I have in my apartment in Dallas, which is a Splendide unit, which is what they put in the RVs and things. And it works perfectly great, but it's a vented, heated element unit. So I've been going down the rabbit hole, and some of you probably already typed this in the comments. I went and looked at the Speed Queen series of washers and dryers. And I found that I can order not only a stackable unit, which would solve a lot of problems, but I can order one with the reversible door where the door is on whatever side I want. So I can put the washer on the right and the dryer on the left. The issue we've always had, though, is this dryer vent, right? So what I'm looking at doing is building a venting system that goes up the wall. That way, drill a hole through the bricks, and it would vent out the side of the house. And why the guy who built this didn't do that before, he really should have put everything on this back wall, or something like that. But the deal is that what he did was he contained all the water in one place. You've got the water heater here, which is just on the other side of this. So basically all your water, your fresh water pipe is this one here. You got this one fresh water pipe coming in from the well directly. And it goes into this water softener system. Right above us, this thing here, that's pipes that drop down. That's the kitchen, the toilet, everything. So basically, the kitchen is right above us. The bathroom toilet is right above us. All that is right here. So all the water for the whole part of the house is in this one little wall. Right on this wall, you've got the hot water heater, the water heater, and then you've got the water softener and the fresh water. You got the washer machine. That's all kind of brilliant the way he did it. And we have the same thing on the other side of the house. There's just a raw water pipe that runs all the way to the other side. And then we have the same setup over there, basically. So I'm doing just a quick rinse and spin. I just wanted to rinse this. I just wanted to get this muddy water out of here and wash this again. But I went and looked at the Speed Queens. This thing was like $2,000 as a combo. And it seems expensive, but they say, well, you got to think you're buying both a washer and a dryer. And I go, yeah.
it's not 2 units, it's 1 unit. So it's kind of a ripoff, but you see them on sale all the time for like, I don't know, 1,700 bucks, but they're still I think they retailed originally at $3,000. The Speed Queen units though are like 2,500. You're going at 3,000 a piece with taxes and shit. Then you get the pedestal and everything. So you're talking like $6,000 for the pair of those. But these are industrial quality 25-year units that are good for more than 10,000 loads before you got to maintenance them, which is 100 years for us. We only do 2 loads a week. I do a load and Rachel does a load. That's it. We've only done 20-something, 30 cycles on this thing since we've owned it. Oh, wow, look at this. Look at the water. That's coming out of there. And I need to plug this up. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna look at this thing. It says it's a 5-hour wash and dry. Very disappointed with this machine. And so I'm just gonna have to eat it. But yeah, for the last year, we've been washing and cleaning. Here's more pink stuff. I gotta tell you, just every cleaner that I bought from these guys has just kicked ass. Great stuff. Great stuff. It's fantastic. I don't know what's in it. Look, here's some more of it. I bought a lot of this. We have been cleaning. All-purpose cleaner. It's great. Anyway, so I plan on making a really detailed video about my fire experience, about the cleaning process, the rebuilding process, the predatory companies that take advantage of you. And the video that I'm going to make about this subject, if I'd have been able to watch that video that I'm going to make a year ago, would have made a significant difference in my life. A significant difference in my life. It would have saved me $100,000 or more dollars. Would have saved me. It probably would have saved me from having to rebuild the entire house and just a whole lot of stuff. I did not need to rebuild the whole house. It could have been cleaned. And this is what I'm going to talk about when I make the video. Like, one of the biggest lies these assholes tell you is that you'll never get rid of the smell. There's no smell. Those clothes have no smell. A year ago, they were wretched. They would make you sick, the smell. But the smell dissipates. It does go away. That's the biggest lie they tell you. That's how they trick you into getting all their services. Because when you first, when I first came into the house the day after the fire, right? And this was all black. And this was all burnt. The ceiling was down. Remember? And all the stuff was on the floor and it was glass everywhere. Yeah, this room was in bad shape. But they basically tell you, listen, you're never going to get rid of the smell. You can't just paint over it. You can't clean it. This all has to be removed through special hazmat. We have to come in. We pressurize the house. They taped up all the doors with these zippers and had these pressurized machines in here running air filtering and all this other stuff. And yeah, there's no doubt about it. Like, it's a toxic environment at first. But you could just throw on some gloves and a respirator, take everything out and clean it. But you don't need to remove the walls. You don't need to throw away all your furniture. Like, I can't tell you how many pieces of furniture we just took outside. Like, for instance, that cabinet right there, that was in a dumpster, and where they were throwing it out. And I pulled it back out. I go, dude, I'll never find another one of those. They just throw it away and go buy another one. I go, you're never going to find another one of those, right? So what we did was we took all the drawers out. We hosed it off, cleaned it with a brush. And then the top of it was burnt and bubbled up from the fire. We sanded it down, and then we repainted it with a can of flat black paint. So the actual out-of-pocket cost was about $5 worth of paint and about 30 minutes of work, maybe. And I salvaged it, and there it is. And you'll never find another one of those. Go find, So the thing is certain things that they wanted to throw away. And there's people out there going, Bob, you're petty. You have money. Just go buy another one, like this couch. But the couch was on fire. The couch was melted. The couch was gone. You could not fix the couch. But in fact, there was a table sitting next to this couch I wish I had not thrown away. In retrospect, I could have done a little sanding on it and spray painted it because it was just so unique. So many of the things I have are really unique that aren't easily replaceable. So, and this is really a message for people like me who have unique furniture and unique things and clothing. And, you know, there are people out there that aren't like me. They just go buy furniture every couple of years and they go shop at the Gap, H&M, and they just buy some regular shirts and regular pants and regular shoes, and it's all replaceable to them. And they have some regular furniture. And so for those people, yes, ServPro will come in, throw all your stuff away. You go down to Ashley and IKEA, you buy new stuff, you go shopping at H&M's and you buy some new clothes, and then you move on with your life. For people like me that have unique things that are curated, where you spend a lot of time going to places looking for unique items, art and furniture and everything, and you want to preserve it, that's what we're talking about here. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's go to tomorrow. Let's go to Friday. Well, guys, it's Friday. Got up kind of late, cleaning still, doing laundry. Went out to lunch with my friend Jordan the Lion. I didn't blog it. It was just a friendly hang. We didn't blog or anything. We're just friends. He was in town doing something. So sorry that I didn't include him in the video. Tall guy's here doing the tile in the bathtub. I'm gonna go to the local trunk or treat with the DeLorean for my wife's, she runs the YMCA. She's like the manager there or something. And so I gotta be there about 5, but it's on the other side of town. And it's 2, so I gotta leave kind of early. And because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and do the video so that it's posted for today. So not a lot getting done on camera today. So I just wanted to explain that before I upload the video. You know, my videos have been long because I rant and ramble. It's an entire week's worth of videos that I post on Fridays. And, you know, people seem to like that. They like the consistency of it. I figured out that, you know, I've got this hardcore set of fans that like the long form videos. Probably be making shorter produced videos once again of things that I'm working on. You know, I haven't done any videos on this Lamborghini in a while. That thing, I'm gonna do a oil change on it. I'm thinking about selling the white Ferrari car. Where did it go? It's over there. There it is. Thinking about selling it just because it just sits around. I want to get back to work on the Night Rider car that I have in here. I need to work on that thing, get it completed, because it was a project that I started a long time ago and never finished. So, things to come. I've been wanting to restore my Harley Davidson, take it apart, paint it, make it cool. People might be interested in that, maybe not. I'm going to be making some changes and upgrades to the DeLorean. Nothing special, just some stuff. People like to see the time machine. I want to get back to work on this Lamborghini replica, my Fiero. There's some things that I did on it a while back that I need to fix. Like I need to fix the door latch situation, just some little things on it. So, and I need to clean and organize this whole garage, set up all my tools the way I need them to be set up. Just little things. Me and Jordan were talking about the weirdness that is YouTube and how certain things will get tons of views and other things won't. You know, like I'll do a video about the time machine, which I think is amazing, and then it'll get no views, and then I'll do something really dumb and it'll get a ton of views. I don't know what you guys want. It's hard to say. Anyway, point is I'm going to be back in the studio, or back in this room a lot more. I'll be heading back to Texas soon to get the rest of my stuff and close the shop there. Anyway, just some updates, basically, so you guys know what's up. Anyway, just wanted to close up and say happy Friday. Got Halloween coming, and hope you guys have been liking the videos. They're kind of slowing down. I know they're getting a little bit more boring because we're kind of finishing up with everything. But we will be doing the podcast here in the studio again. I've ordered a new podcast camera. I got to get my microphone set up, and it's going to be moving along. So tune into the Videobob show on Sunday, which is a separate channel than this. And I will start getting the Bob's Prop Shop Live webcam, which is another channel. Get that going again soon as I get out into the shop. So anyway, thanks for watching the videos. Love all you guys. See you next Friday.
The song is called Fuck You. And if y'all don't like it, you can kick rocks, you bunch of bastards.